Hey everybody, welcome to the weekend. It's Wednesday and it's our weekly broadcast of a blind guy,
his wife,
and their life. And this is a channel where we introduce you to fabulous people within 30 minutes of our 30 minutes time span. We introduce you to fabulous people in our life that give you insight into what it means to change the narrative of what it means to be normal, where we shift the focus from being disabled to being differently able through the interactions that we'll share with these special people. Today is a special episode because today is my birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
I am 19 again. Again.
Just so that you guys know, Corey and I are the same age. He's always talking about, she's older than me, she's older than me. But today...
She's a cougar.
Today,
Sweet Daddy was just that sweet. That's all it was.
As I was saying, we are the same age. So, guys, welcome. We have so many good things happening today. So, Corey, if you just want to tell them what to expect, we can roll with it.
Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11:15 to 11:40 a.m. to 11:45 a.m., we bring to you a blind guy, his wife, their life live. And each day is filled with some fun. We have our word on the street today, which is going to be brought to you by two special people in my life,
Woo-hoo.
My actual cousins, Wade, State, and
Why you say actual cousin?
Because people say,
and why you putting his whole government name? He might not want his whole name.
Okay, I'll do his regular name. The Right Reverend Bishop Archbishop Deacon Dr. Wade Sr., Jr., and then his son Wade Shawn. They're gonna bring us our word on the street today.
You still kind of gave a lot of info.
I know, but we're actually, because people got play cousins. Play cousins. These are not my play cousins. These are my blood cousins, my real biological cousins. Then we have none other than a special guest who's a fabulous storyteller himself that has traveled across the sea to the continent of Africa as a storyteller. And he's also got some connections to the Black Panther movie. We're going to talk about that as well.
Good, Corey. Just so that you know, this guy that's connected to the Black Panther movie, he's a phenomenal storyteller, and he says that he's going to talk about how phenomenal we are as storytellers, mainly me. I think he said that he's going to, even though it's your birthday.
You're doing a good job telling the story right now. Now, with that being said, we're also going to end today with a plant-based treat of the week. So we'll have LaQuita has something delicious that she's going to share with you. And along the way, we'll read the comments of our viewing audiences as they come in.
Corey, they're coming in. Philip Waldo Jr. is saying, good morning, all. Shawn Bright is saying, grand rising, everyone. Happy birthday, Corey.
Thank you.
And Philip Waldo Jr. also says, enjoy your day, Corey. Hey, Deborah Green. Hello, family. So glad to catch you live. Happy birthday, Corey.
All right. Thank you.
Our children, our Watoto, are saying, happy birthday. And guess who is here all the way from Ghana? We were just talking about Prince Ayoko and his video on the baobab tree. He was telling us all of that information. He's in Ghana. He is a prince. He says, greetings, my lovely family.
Thank you, Prince Ayoko, joining us all the way from Ghana. We got to get you in on one of our lives as well. So we'll make sure that we get your information so that we can bring you on and share all the wonderful information you're sharing on your channel as well.
Absolutely. He's just a wonderful builder. He has so many other people that work with him as well. And he says, happy birthday to you, my lovely brother. I wish you good health, long life, prosperity, abundance of wisdom, and health.
Thank you very much, Prince Ayoko. Well, it's good to be greeted by royalty this morning.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice birthday treat. Anthony Birchers, another storyteller, says, happy birthday.
Hey, Anthony Bircher, how you doing? With the Bower of Tabble. That's an inside joke there, so he could catch it.
Corey, the birthday wishes keep rolling in. Akwaba fam, happy Earth Strong Day, Corey. So Akwaba is a Ghanaian word that means welcome in the language of Twi. Corey, this really is great. I said we get on to your cousins. Like, let's keep the birthday love flowing.
Yes. Now, everybody, if you ever watched a good old-fashioned 1920s, 30s gangster mafia movie, you always know there's a hitman, and the hitman has plenty of bullets. Well, in my family, it worked a little bit backwards. The bullet had a hitman.
Okay.
With today's word on the street, it is my cousin, Wade Jr., a.k.a. The Bullet, and his son, Wade Shawn, the hitman, with today's Word on the street.
What's going on?
Hey, Wade and Wade Shawn. Now, Wade, your bullet, how'd you get that nickname?
Well, I got that name in the 1990s while playing football in high school. I guess I shaped a little funny. I I was big up top, muscular, and I had smaller legs, but I was pretty fast for my size. And they started calling me the Bullet, and the name just stuck.
Mm.
And then years later, in reverse, you had a hitman. Wade Shawn, how'd you get that nickname?
I got mine while I was in high school as well. They gave it to me based off the plays that I would make. I would make big hits and ignite the crowd, and it was just amazing. So that's how they gave me that, and it ended up being in reverse with my father.
Right. Yeah, been to a few of Wade Shawn's games when he was in high school, and the girls just thought he was a celebrity. Like we actually went to the NFL and they shook his hand when they came to the field and that's our cousin, wow. And that was one of the games where Wade Shawn ran for a first down on offense, caught an interception as a linebacker, and then hits a whole bunch of people playing defensive end. I was like, what is this boy? This boy, he carrying on that state and legacy. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
I know that's right.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds good. So hey. Well, just so that you guys know, Shine Bright is welcoming Wade and Wade Shawn. Corey, you still are getting more happy birthday messages from LaShonda Brooks, and then of course,
Shawn.
Hey y'all, I love going to your Northeastern football games. Wade Shawn, our kids are just happy. Them games be lit. They're just into it. Just so that you know, Corey, I know this is the word on the street, and we have one, but we have a new word. Prince Ayoko from Ghana, he says, Amaraba in the Dagbani language means welcome.
Amaraba. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Again, great to have royalty visiting with us.
Hey, fam. She says, hey, fam.
Hey.
So what's the word on the street today, Corey?
What's the word on the street today, Wade Shawn?
Imani. The word on the street today is Imani.
And Imani is a Kiswahili word that means faith. You exhibited a lot, and it's not necessarily faith in religion, but more so belief in oneself. And that's translated for you pretty good, because right now you're on scholarship for to play football at college, right?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
So, congratulations on that. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that, I'm not going to give away too much, but I'll say that he's a good height, but Wade Shawn is 230-something pounds, unless he's gained some weight since then. Now, Wade Shawn typically is what they call a viper, which is a mix of an outside linebacker and a defensive end. He played some inside linebacker in high school, but now he's stuck dead in the middle in the defensive tackle position. That requires a lot of what, Wade Shawn?
A lot of faith, a lot of faith, and a lot of strength. It requires the knowledge of a defensive tackle. So typically, I would look outmatched on the inside because of size, but I put my mind to it. I use what I've been taught. Use anything that anybody could get, any type of advice that anybody would give me, and I make things happen.
Okay. So believing in yourself and believing in what you know. So that's that Imani, that faith that works.
And Philip Waldo Jr. is saying, congratulations, Wade Shawn. He's so well spoken. It runs in our family. This is just, magnificent.
And he's got that state and charm and good looks.
They're just agreeing, because, Fan Britt says, awesome, congrats. Wade Shawn, we just really celebrate people on this show. And so when our people come on with the word on the street or with their talents or our special guests, people just love you. They show you love. So that's what they're doing in the chat today. Speaking of love, Corey, Fan Britt says, happy birthday. Happiest of birthdays, old man.
Yeah.
And in case you have not, smash that like button on your way in. Hit the thumbs up.
Hit the thumbs up, smash the like button. Wait, Shawn, what are you studying for in college? Because I know for you told me when you graduated that football was a vehicle for you to get what we call a degree for free. So what are you studying?
I'm studying psychology.
Okay, so then you can finally diagnose what's wrong with your daddy. All right. Well, Shawn is the hitman, so he plays drums as well. But Bullet, bullets when they fly to the air, they sing, zing. So Bullet, the daddy, can sing. So Bullet, can you go ahead and bless me with a happy birthday song?
Ooh, happy birthday song. Just so you know, Corey, Naturally Organic is telling Shawn. Well, she's saying hello to everyone, but she's congratulating Shawn. More love, more love. And just so that you know, our kids would go home and practice the cheers that the cheerleaders were doing. They really would do that.
Except for Camille, she practiced the tackles that you were doing.
Yes. So give us the birthday. We're ready for it. The birthday song, the birthday lyrics. This is the way the birthday song should sound. Sometimes Corey sings on the show. Give it to us what we should hear.
I'll take a moment to say happy birthday to you today. And I'll take a moment and say, Corey, enjoy your day. And may God bless you. May God bless you.
Hey.
Rest in peace, y'all. Because I mean, he's just rolling on his grave right now, y'all. Guys, I appreciate it. And up there, we have some information about Wade Jr.'s what he's doing out in the community in his hometown.
Yes, because the people are loving it. They say you better sing. So hey, that's what Crime Bright is telling him. Guys, if you'd like to contact Wade Bullet, yes, then you can reach him, rkim1@yahoo.com. That's the Rehoboth Kingdom International Ministries email address. Contact them so that way if you need a singer, if you need a speaker, you know where
a comedian.
All of those things, you know where to find him. If you need a hitman, he can bring his son. So, so unfortunately, Corey, Philip Waldo Jr. says Corey never ever sang like that. So you never ever sounded like that. Sorry. Yeah. But Valanta Queen says, "Sing, cuzzo, sing." People are clapping. Folks are laughing at Phil. And Christine Brooks, my mama says, "Happy birthday, son. Love you."
Thank you. I'm the best son-in-law she's ever had. I don't care who else, whichever my brother-in-law's list. I don't care. So. And
then, of course, Van Britt is bigging him up all right now. So they are loving it. And so you guys, if you want to find out, more information, if you want to chat with Wade, then you know where to find him. The information is right there on the screen for RKIM1. That stands for Rehoboth Kingdom International Ministries.
He really just tried to be sneaky and name his ministry Rakim. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Y'all made my birthday. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
It was our pleasure, guys.
And we love y'all, man.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Well,
all right.
That was fun.
Absolutely.
I always have a good time getting together with Junior and Wade Jr. and Wade Shawn. We spent quite a few times together up there at the football games and getting together family events. So missed that this year, but we'll get back to it. So we're gonna move on today. We'll expedite today's introduction of our special guest. He's one of my favorite storytellers, and I have four, and he's one of them. And he can captivate any audience. He's actually been a great inspiration, influence on us. He's also what we call a straight shooter when it comes to being one of our elders in the storytelling profession.
He's world traveled.
He's world traveled, and he's had some good connections. Like I said, even to Ruth Carter, the costume designer for the Black Panther movie, when they worked together at Colonial Williamsburg in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Yeah, we'll have a picture of her with him.
And so this is the man who has taught us so much over the years. I teasingly call him Old Father because that's one of his stories. And he has a refrain that he uses that inspires me. Who's gonna tell it if a teller don't tell it? Because if a teller don't tell it, then it might not get told. Our special guest today is Mr. Dialin Pritchett.
Y'all, who's gonna tell it if a teller don't tell it? Who's gonna tell it if a teller don't tell it? Who's gonna tell it if a teller don't tell it? If a teller don't tell it, it might not get told. I had to do that for you, Corey.
Thank you. That's a birthday gift.
Wow.
So you're gonna start us off today with a 5-minute story. Usually I do a 5-minute story, but today you're taking my place. I'm handing I'm handing the throne to you today. So
So we're gonna definitely hear that story because you're a storyteller, so we've got to bring you in the right way. But Corey, the birthday wishes keep coming. Watching the Hawks is saying happy birthday, and of course, Shawn Bright is reminding people to click the thumbs up. But Zenobia Ridley just got here, just got back from Ghana. She says coming in here late, caught the ending of that beautiful singing. Hey to my favorite fam. Happy birthday, Corey.
I got a message, Zenobia.
Cecil and Sonia Brown is saying happy birthday.
Thank you.
And Prince Ayoko is listening to that music. He says, wow, this drum sounds like our Simba drums. So, they're in Ghana. And Naturally Organic is saying beautiful tone. So go ahead, give us the story. We're ready for you. Everybody's welcoming him, Corey.
I have no idea where this story came from. I think I read it or heard it, and a lot of stories I hear just once, I just put up there. But this is so simple. But this being the Kwanzaa season, it kind of encapsulates it. It's a real simple story. A farmer once noticed that there was a mouse droppings in his kitchen, so he put a mouse trap in the corner. And that night, that mouse came out looking around to see what had dropped that day, and he got around the corner. He said, "There's a mouse trap in the house." So he went out. He said, "I got to tell somebody." So he went out and he went out there where the chicken was. And the chicken was pecking around. He said, hey, chicken, there's a mouse trap in the house." The chicken went, I ain't got nothing to do with that, I'm out here pecking around, I'm resting on my eggs. Go leave me alone. That mouse trap is your problem. The mouse went, So he looked around and he said, I got to tell somebody. So he saw the pig. He went over to the pig. He said, hey, pig, there's a mouse trap in the house. The pig went, that ain't my problem. That's your problem. I hope they put some slop out here. That mouse trap, that's your problem. The mouse went, So he said he saw a cow. He said, hey, cow, there's a mouse trap in the house. The cow went, man, it's your problem. Ain't my problem, man. Your problem. You come out here pulling on me every morning. That mouse trap, that's your problem. The mouse went, Well, that mouse went around from place to place to place to place to place, telling everybody there's a mouse trap in the house. And everybody, all the animals would say, that's your problem. Well, what happened was that farmer's wife was sweeping in the kitchen, and she didn't know nothing about no mouse trap. And she got around to the corner, and when she went to the corner, that mouse trap snapped down on her toe. Hurt her something awful. Hurt her so bad, she just started turning black, then blue, to the point where they laid her in bed, caught a fever. Doctor came, checked her out, shook his head. 2 days later, that farmer's wife died. So they had to have a funeral. And the morning of the funeral, all the family started coming over. All them statins came over. So many of the family came over until the farmer looked around. He said, Lord, I got to feed these people. These people, I got to feed. He said, I know. We get some eggs. So he went out and he got some eggs, but he lifted up the chicken. And when he got the eggs, he looked at the chicken. He said, we had chicken and waffles. So he went, he killed all his chickens. But then there were so many of them statins up in there. Then he started looking around. He said, Lord, these people are going to need more than this. And he looked out. He said, a pig. We had some bacon. So he went out and he slaughtered the pig. So they sat around and had bacon, waffle, and eggs. Waffle, chicken, and eggs. Well, the funeral was kind of sad. She was a good woman. But everybody came back home for the repast. And the farmer looked around. He said, Lord have mercy. He said, we got a little chicken left. He said, we got some ham. We going to have to need something else to feed these people. And he looked out and saw the cow. So he went out and butchered the cow. Them people had hamburgers, steaks, fajitas. They ate up everything they had. Then everybody quietly went home. And that's the end of the story. Now, the meaning of the story is real interesting. Because there's a mouse trap in the house. And when you don't think it's your problem, it might be your problem.
All right.
And so all of the principles of Kwanzaa is tied up into that.
Yes.
The injustices that we see of our people, if you don't think that that's a problem for you, there's a mousetrap in the house. Throughout our history, we have seen what communities getting together and pulling on one oar, what that happens to mean. And even in a family, in communities, when you can't get funding for the Black-owned businesses in your community to stay open, when you can't get good health care and you can't get access to your hospital, there's a mousetrap in the house. And
absolutely.
In your city. It could be what we see that goes on throughout the country, the injustices. And so we can't sit back sometimes and say, that ain't my problem. That's their problem.
Right. This is everyone's problem. The mousetrap is everyone's problem. Let me tell you, you are just bringing it today. I mean, we already knew, right? But the people here are loving it. Fan Britt says, wonderful lesson. Bonnie B is saying, love that. And actually, Bonnie B is also saying, I have his book. It's autographed too. Yeah, so, we got fans in the house. She says, he's a cool dude. When I bought the book, I didn't have enough money on me. And he let me send him a check later. He didn't even know me. That type of trust, that Imani, that faith, that's the principle of the day.
And also that Harambe, pulling together as a community is a great message in that story. And that's why we entitled our annual holiday celebration, Kwanzaa celebration, Harambe for the holidays. That's why it was so fitting for you to come in today. And Don, you have a very interesting pathway to becoming a storyteller. You actually started music and as the first African-American drum major in the Fife and Drum Corps in Colonial Williamsburg. You want to talk about that?
Well, I'll pull up the picture while you talk about it because, that way everybody can actually see and have that visual along with it. Just so you know, Corey, Bonnie B also said, happy birthday.
Thank you, Bonnie. Bon Diesel.
Our children are saying, yes, they love Dylan Pritchett. And you've got welcomes. People are saying, welcome. Prince Ayoko is reminding people to hit the like button all the way from Ghana. He's talking to all of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right. And then, of course, we also have, just so you know, Corey, another birthday wish. Sonia with a Y. Happy birthday, brother in love.
Thank you.
She's a vocalist, so we got to sing that. We won't sing it right now. Everybody's happy that Zenobia made it back safely. And of course, our children says, hey, your stories are so good. Yes, and just so that you know, also all the way from the Netherlands, my thoughts on everything is all the way from the Netherlands. He says, greatness at work. Congrats, fam. So I'm going to pull up this picture so you can tell us about this Fife and Drum Corps and, really what this photo means here.
Well, the Fife and Drum Corps, Colonial Williamsburg is an icon, really, and they accept young. When I was in the Corps, they accepted young boys once you had graduated the 5th grade, or you were in the 5th grade, and so you go in. They train you how to play the instrument. I was a fifer, and I think I was the second Black in the Corps. The Fife and Drum Corps started in the late in the 60s. And I was in the Corps, and I ended up being the drum major. Once you were a fife major, you were a drum major. Then I was on the staff for a while, and I was a drum major. This is a rare picture of me drum majoring because I think that because I was Black, you did not find very many pictures of me drum majoring an all-white Corps.
Right.
Those who were in the Corps didn't even notice color at the time because we were young. And not only that, but we were Corps members. We had a good time because it was music. And so, we didn't really care about all of that. But the picture really says something about society, is that, how could you have somebody who drum majored a Fife and Drum Corps and you don't have photographs of him leading the Corps? And think of why that would be. But anyway, I'm not bitter about it, but it's something that looking back, I go, wow, I never really noticed it then because I wasn't old. But again, there was a mousetrap in the house. I ain't know it. I'm kind of like the farmer's wife, you know.
Right.
And you know something? If I don't want to have a slight thing, but sometimes that is what happens with that mousetrap. We don't realize what this one thing means until 5-10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday there was a question, why tell stories? And that's why, because some of these lessons are 10 years ago, things happened and we went, that's what that means now. So
right.
Our young people need to understand that some of the things we fight now, put in the back of your mind so that 10-15 years later, you will understand why the old folks say, wow, we already fought that. Y'all got to keep fighting that. And it's because there's not a lot of new fights. But anyway, moving on.
Well, moving on, I'm going to pull up another picture because some of the people in the picture are just, phenomenal. Their legacy is amazing. And just so that, people are definitely loving you. Mr. Wade 72 says, what an amazing show. And so even our children, our Watoto, are saying, that's so cool. And so, everyone is excited. Everyone loved your story, saying, wow. And just so that you know, another language, Belanta Queen says, that was a great story, Madase. And Madase is a word that means thank you, in Twi, from Ghana, because you've traveled all around the world to several African countries. And so I'm going to pull up this picture here, and it shows you with a few people that I can't remember if this is the picture where you actually I think you were in Colonial Williamsburg for this particular picture. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to enlarge it a little bit.
Okay.
Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Colonial Williamsburg in 1979, 1980, started African-American programming. Half of Williamsburg's population was Black, but there was no programming nor a great focus. And so the Black music program was put together. And this was the first group of folks that did the Black music program.
Okay.
And anyway, just real briefly, Monty Combs sitting down from left to right, Monty Combs, myself on the drum, the brother standing with the talking drum, Lamont Carter. Lamont Carter was a bootmaker and wonderful hands. God rest his soul. He was a Vietnam vet who passed away from Agent Orange. Down playing the log drum is Dr. Rex Ellis. Dr. Rex Ellis is now retired, but during the time he was the director of African American programs. Later on, when the department started, he went to the Smithsonian Museum, came back to Colonial Williamsburg as the first Black vice president, and then ended up at the in DC in charge of the exhibits, putting together the exhibits for the National African American Museum of History and Culture. And then beside him is Darren Taylor. Darren Taylor went on to act a little bit. He was in Nighthawk and a couple of other sitcom programs. And he is now deceased, rest his soul. And to the right is Eddie Allen. Eddie Allen now lives in Norfolk, and he was a professor at Hampton University as well as Rex. Later on, the Black music program was the first program that was offered to show African American music and the importance of African rhythms and music and culture to the African Americans. So that's why the instruments are the way that they are. And later on, every year, actors would come and go, and during the summer. And you had mentioned Ruth Carter. Ruth Carter came in for a year and portrayed characters, African American characters on the streets. Had to talk to Ruth a little bit because Williamsburg was not an average kind of town, and she would want to walk around with no shoes on, and we said, Ruth, this ain't here. We in the city. And then she would put her hat, the basket on her head, and we said, this ain't really the place where that would happen, Ruth. But Ruth was innovative, and she was very much Ruth Carter. And and you have to know Ruth because she is I can't even find the word for Ruth, but she's an Academy Award winner, and that's all that she said. And for costuming too, and I think that her work not only at and she has said that the work at Colonial Williamsburg helped her when it came to doing costuming for 18th and 19th century folk, and she's just phenomenal. Every time I look at a movie, a Black movie, I want to see if Ruth did the costuming, and you can usually tell. But anyway, she did a phenomenal job with the Black Panther costume. I mean, she did a lot of research.
That's one that a lot of people know nowadays. Yep. And like he's saying, he knows the legacy. And like he said, he's looking at the credits, realizing that he can a lot of times see her style in different films.
And speaking of Black Panther and his legacy about African culture and how it stays, you yourself went to Africa and to Senegal, Ghana, and Morocco, and you had quite an interesting experience with some medicine men there in Ghana. Senegal.
Yeah, because your experience is different than like I'm going to pull up a picture here. And let's see if I can get this to show.
Well, as you do that, I kind of build up to it. In 1989, before I left Colonial Williamsburg to be a professional storyteller in 1990, and there was an opportunity to go to Morocco and Senegal. It was an educator's trip, and it was at bare bones price. We had to fly Royal Air Morocco and spend 2 days in Morocco, and that was almost free. And then we went to Senegal. On my second trip, I went to Ghana, Senegal and Ghana. And when I got to Morocco, it was cool, but I said, I ain't quite feeling this yet. And when we got to Senegal, we were feeling it. And that was just mind blowing for me. And I met this young man named Armani. Matter of fact, I have a larger, in my living room, I have a poster size of Armani. And a poster of this as well in my living room. But anyway, do you have the photograph?
Coming up, just a second. Let me pull it.
Okay, because I had asked Armani to take me to his home. And he hesitated and looked at me. He said, Banwai, he said, 1.5 hour troll. And I said, well, let's go. And, the troll is like the taxi with all these people in it. You see him hanging on the side. And it was like that too for an hour and a half. But he took me to his village one day. And I came upon these, a lot of stuff, a lot of things.
Right.
But I came upon these three men who were sitting under this lean-to.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they were medicine men. And then he said, we're not witch doctors. And then I said, he said I could take their picture, but I would have to explain who they are and what they do.
Right.
And so these men said that there would have to be 3 of them. And if you have any issues with your health, you go and you tell them what the issues are. And the 3 of them would ask you questions and then decide how to treat you. And he had these bags of roots, and he had some other bags around them. And he said that they would give their patient, whatever cure that they decided. And the cool thing about it, though, was that he said that nobody paid for anything. He treated and you just leave. And no one in the village really paid for anything.
Right.
Everybody took care of themselves. And I think in Banwai, what I learned most is how we judge people, how we judge dirt, how we judge things. The man said, why do you comb your hair every day? Why do you wash your feet every day? He said, you do it because someone says you have to do it to be acceptable. He said, we don't care if your hair nappy, if you got little coal in the eye. What is important is your heart and what comes out of your mouth. I could have got troll and came home.
That's definitely.
Now, it's so funny that you say troll because not everybody knows that a troll is a form of transportation. It's like the cab. It's like the way you move around. all of that.
Yeah. But anyone that is of African descent needs to go to Africa and look around and feel.
Yes.
The experience has changed not only the way that I view Africa, but how I view being an African American.
Mm-hmm.
That if we don't remember that root, and that's what storytelling is that how you teach. If we don't remember that root, then we ain't gonna have no fruit, and our fruit ain't gonna be as sweet. I mean, you got there are a lot of different apples, but they ain't all sweet.
Right. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Africa, Miss Grace, she's actually a Jamaican woman, but she is in Zambia right now. So she's on the continent, and she's doing exactly what you're saying. We ourselves are planning to go to Ghana, preparing for our trip. Just so you know, Corey, Erica Roberts says, hi there. Happy birthday, G-Unk.
Happy birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Miss Grace, for my birthday, can you give me $45?
Well, this has been so fun today, Dylan. I do want to make sure that we also share our Harambe for the Holidays flyer for our upcoming show, because Harambe for the Holidays, I don't know what just happened, guys. I'm sorry, I was sharing the wrong thing. Harambe for the Holidays, we're going to try to pull up the right picture. It's our annual show. The information is scrolling at the bottom. We're talking about all of these Kwanzaa principles. And so, with all of these Kwanzaa principles, this is where we want to, we come together with our production on the day after Christmas. We always start it this way, that on that day, we have a show, a stage play. This year it's virtual, which means for this year, you can watch the live stream right here, the stage play. We'll have people zooming in from the continent. Miss Grace, we need you on the 26th, if you're available, to come in from the continent and show us Africa, because we have several connections.
Prince Ayoko, if you're available, we'd love to have you come on the 26th, day after Christmas, between the hours of 1 and 3 p.m.
For our time, which for Ghana would be 6, because our 1 o'clock is their 6 o'clock. Yeah, so they would come in around 6:30. And then Zambia is in central, I don't know the time zone, but that would be maybe 8 or 9 p.m. for them. But either way, we hope to see you all there.
So definitely, guys, we want to make sure today is my birthday. And it's the holiday season.
Corey, another birthday wish from Miss Grace. I love Zambia. Happy birthday, Uncle Corey.
Thank
she said, blah, blah.
Thanks, Miss Grace. And again, we definitely want to thank Mr. Dylan Pritchett for coming. But like I said, for my birthday, for the holiday season, or a Kwanzaa gift, we want to get to 1,000 subscribers. So share this information. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit the like button today, hit the like button, and then hit the notification bell to make sure you get notifications for more videos.
So notification bell, subscribes, get other people to subscribe, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of your birthday. Who knows? Guys, if you are looking for Kwanzaa gifts, Dylan Pritchett, he's an author. His book, The First Music, you can find it on Amazon. So that book that the sister was talking about, Bonnie B, you can find that on Amazon. And then, of course, he also has another book. Dylan, your other book just came out. The name of the book is The Speckled Blackbird.
The yellow blackbird.
The yellow speckled blackbird. So I'll show them, because they can find both of these on Amazon. So yellow speckled blackbird, this is where you can find it. This is what the cover looks like. And of course, you can see his name right there, Dylan Pritchett, at the bottom. So you're an author, you're a storyteller. This way your stories can continue to be told.
And how do they contact Mr. Pritchett if they want to book him for any virtual programming or in-person programming?
Oh, you know what? For Dylan, he says that he is fine with people contacting him. So guys, if you are here today and you want to book Dylan, because he is for hire, as far as, he doesn't come cheap or free, This is his profession. This is what he has done for years and years. He's a professional storyteller. So if you're looking for a professional storyteller outside of me and Corey, you know what I'm saying? Because we taught dialing a little bit somewhere along the way. No, we didn't. Aesop at widowmaker.com, area code 757-561-6658.
And that is not a typo. It is Widowmaker without the second W.
Yes, absolutely. Dylan, this has been so good.
Could I add
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and add something.
As a performer, the pandemic has really affected a lot of us, and I'm not just speaking of myself, but all storytellers and all performers.
Yes.
And as the schools get ready to figure out how to stay open, as museums and theaters figure out how to stay open, we are sitting at home and we really have to do virtual. So.
Right.
My statement is for those people who have organizations, consider Corey and LaQuita, all these people who make a living doing this because we're available and, we're negotiable now. And because we want to stay safe and we don't want to give anything to the kids or the kids to get to us. And so, as a performer, I'm not making that plea, but just saying that, this is our profession. And it's not just something we do on the side, but we're unemployed because but we gonna make it,
right?
And everybody be blessed. Merry Christmas. Hope Santa comes through the front door because he
got a black Santa Claus.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, this has been. Thank you. Happy Kwanzaa to you. Bonnie B says her students love your book. She loves reading it to them. She gets to act silly and use funny voices. And Fan Britt is saying, thank you, Mr. Pritchett, for sharing with all of us. Bonnie B is saying, this was awesome. I'm going to have to check that out. And thank you for sharing your talents. Now, just so you know, Corey, Ms. Grace says she wants to call in December 26th. We're going to send her a message. I don't have her Zambia number. I don't know how to get it. Send us an email, info@Atumpan So I don't know. I'll put it in the chat, info@Atumpan Edutainment, Miss Grace. That way you can send us the number.
YouTube for Tioco.
Oh, yeah, anybody that we ask to, not anybody. info@AutumnPondEdutainment.com. We're going to keep it real on this show. And so we have our children typing it in. Ooh, they even spelled it right. See, this. And Miss Grace says, okay, thanks. So this has been wonderful, Dylan. We are going to definitely thank you for this special appearance. We got to have you back. This was not enough time.
Definitely not enough time. And for once, Dylan, you can actually look at me and say, oh, Father, you getting old. So,
where we all are, and that's a blessing.
Yes.
Well, thank you for making my birthday a very wonderful birthday with the song, the story, and all your wonderful information. We're going to put you backstage, and if you can stick around, we would love to talk to you more afterwards. But thank you for joining us, and have a happy holiday season as we get ready to share one of LaQuita Marie's, I'll say Chef LaQuita Marie's special recipes.
Plant-based treats. Guys, we're trying to make sure you get more fruits and vegetables in your life. So
it's time for today's plant-based treat.
Sweet potato pancakes.
2 sweet potatoes here. I think it's 2 tablespoons of sugar, to be honest. And I have a little bit of salt right down there in the corner. Just a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to create my buttermilk. So I'm going to add about 8 or 9 ounces of milk. And I'm going to squeeze the lemon in. That will create the buttermilk. So I've taken flax seeds and added water to create this flax egg. Tablespoon of flax seeds and water, and that's what it looks like. I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons in some vanilla, 1.5 teaspoons. This is how I started adding my baking powder.
Dissolve a tablespoon of baking powder in a tablespoon of non-dairy yogurt.
Mix the sweet potato, sugar, vanilla, and flax eggs. Ta-da!
Mix it all up.
We only need about a cup of the batter.
Now add the baking powder mixture.
All in all, I'm going to need about 1.5 cups of flour.
Add the flour, then add the buttermilk. Mommy added it a little bit at a time. You can add it a little bit at a time or all at once.
We got in the pan a little bit of earth balance. It's got a great buttery taste.
Cook it on medium heat. Make sure they don't burn. Flip it once you see the bubbles on the pancake. I don't have anything to say. I just think they were good.
Well, that was today's plant-based treats, and I don't even like pancakes really, but I love LaQuita's because I don't even need the syrup. I just eat the pancakes like they are because they're just so delicious. But so she does. That's one. The only pancakes I really eat are LaQuita Marie's pancakes. So
thank you guys so much for being here today. All the birthday wishes. We apologize for going so long today, but it's Corey's birthday. We had to just stretch it out and enjoy the celebration.
Don't forget to join us every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. for more.
Unless it's a birthday.
Unless it's a birthday. For more wonderful fun with our family and friends and colleagues. Don't forget to join us this Saturday at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time for our Harambe for the Holidays live stream stage play production. And what we want to definitely say tomorrow, tune in because we have a special guest, Ebony Design. She's LaQuita's sister, my sister-in-law.
She's a designer from New York City, a celebrity stylist.
She's a celebrity stylist. She's worked with artists like Mary J. Blige, and we won't give away all her business, but she has toured the world and the country working with celebrities as their personal stylist. So come talk to her about her. You'll be able to see her and learn more about her fascinating work, as well as learning some jive talk from my mother-in-law, Mama C. So with that being said,
Corey, with that being said, happy birthday, Corey. Enjoy your special day. That's what Bonnie B says. She's probably going to rewind this video. She says her and Cam were just talking about those pancakes, and now they have the recipe.
So with that being said, we want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Blind Guy,
his wife,
Their Life Live, and as a shout out to Mr. Dylan Pritchett, who's going to tell it if a teller don't tell it, and a teller don't tell it, it might not get told. Deuces.